I would hate to see you in jail out of respect and a care, because she would be heartbroken. You are a lucky son of a gun, Chris Chandler. So quit this stupid impersonation game.
Hello. Oh, jeez, I'm already fucking peeking. What a disaster. Wow. There's been some developments since the last time we spoke. Since the last time we spoke, the entire week got thrown out just because of something that came out like an hour before my stream. And since then, the whole week's been all fucky-wucky, so... I'm not at 100% right now for various reasons, not least of which is that on Tuesday I was vomiting all day. It was very weird, very suddenly, like one set, middle of the night. I've never vomited so much in my entire life. I was like puking every hour on the hour to the point where it was just clear. It was pure, clear, and I couldn't even drink water. I would get nauseous trying to sip water out of a glass, so I had to like suck on ice cubes to get even like I was so dehydrated I needed some water, so I just got like ice cubes at the advice of some random WebMD thing, and I was just like drinking that slowly. So I'm kind of, I don't want to miss a Friday though, so I've committed to this stream when I could very easily be playing fucking RimWorld, and I hope you all appreciate the sacrifices that I make. Kind of a weird thing where I made these streams to kind of document like locales and like random weird stuff on the internet, and I've only really documented my own mental decline over the last 2 years. So here we are at the apex of I made a post years ago that there was when I was watching a Medicare stream about Brian Dunn, I had a kind of an epiphany midstream that things that Brian Dunn had been doing was to like masturbate himself. Like he wanted to be bullied. So when I got really like mean with him and kept yelling at him and stuff, and I was wondering like, why the fuck does this guy keep coming back to get like yelled at? What does he get out of this? And I had an epiphany like mid-stream that, oh, he was like literally jacking off to that. He gets off on being bullied. And then Medicare said the exact same thing like the same second I thought of it. And that was like a weird like makes you question reality kind of moment. And now I am once again finding myself in a situation where the simulation has torn at the edges, and the tattered fabric of space and time has shown its threadbare elements. Because what has happened this week is literally unfucking believable, and I find myself near the epicenter of it. So I'm going to kind of break down what happened this week chronologically, but before I do that, I have my maintenance. I have my upkeep to do. And I apologize to people in Odyssey. I tried to get the fucking chat from Odyssey on the fucking stream, and let me just show you. Let me show you what fucking happens when I do this. I go to foreground. I'm going to do my Odyssey thing. Oh, completely fucking broken. I can't even load the fucking page in OBS anymore. So I can't even like CSS. Like there's no pop-out chat in Odyssey. So I have to like custom CSS the fucking thing, and I have to make it so that it doesn't like play audio from the stream as I'm streaming. So I can't even do that anymore because Odyssey has completely broken it. So I apologize to the Odyssey people and their secret chat, but it's not my fault. I tried my best to get you guys on the screen, and it's just not working. Anyways, upkeep. Okay, let me guys show you the pigeon. The pigeon is doing well. The pigeon's eggs should be hatching. They are, of course. We named them last week. I think I had like a poll, so we all collectively voted on the most liked names for the eggs, and when we came up with the names, Jeffrey Eggstein and Chantal for the female one, because apparently pigeons lay eggs, 2 eggs at a time, 1 male, 1 female. So the male will be called Jeffrey Eggstein, and the other will be called Chantal. And I'm not cooking the eggs. Fuck off. The pigeon looks super comfy. It's been very windy and dreary, so I hope he's holding up all right. It seems kind of I noticed that they have to like adjust as they sit, because they like you can see the eggs poking out from under his feathers, like the curtain of the feathers. So I bet you it gets uncomfortable after a while sitting on the eggs. But I hope he's nice and comfy. So pigeon's doing fine. I don't have pictures of the banana peppers for right now, but I will do like a disaster has struck in banana pepper land because the aphids came back. I don't know where the aphids came from. I'm on the 6th floor. I am so far up the fucking ground, and yet there are aphids in my fucking banana peppers. How does this happen, chat? It's a mystery, you know. So the people in the forum had suggested neem oil and like hot soapy water and this weird thing. I can't even try to pronounce it. It's like chalk, basically. It's like chalk, but it's made up of like these hard well, it's very soft to the touch, but apparently at a microscopic level it's actually extremely abrasive. So the little insects, they're climbing around in it, and they're basically torn to shreds. It's like if you fell into like a giant trash bag full of glass or something. So I've coated the soil in that, so that when the aphids complete their reproductive cycle in the soil, they climb up through the glass and are torn to shreds, and they are disemboweled at the floor of my plant, which is where they belong. So I think there's been some stunting of the growth because of this, but otherwise it's fine. Anyways, pray for my banana peppers. The peas aren't doing as well. I'm not sure why. They might be overwatered. They might be underwatered. The peas are past the pigeon, and I feel bad to walk out there to water and inspect my peas, because the pigeon will shit itself and fly away and leave the eggs exposed to the cold air. So I figured I'll just let the peas take the L for a couple of weeks and water them when I can, just scare the pigeon off just enough to inspect it every so often, and hopefully at the end of it I can still get some peas out of it. And that's about it. As far as the roundup goes, that's about it. So, I guess I'll just get into it. The whole Chris shit. I've decided to kind of take this from a chronological perspective. I'm gonna look at this from Friday and kind of move my way in. So if you've already heard this like 1,000 times this week, if you've been following it extensively and doing nothing else for the last week, I apologize for like retreading this ground. But again, this is for the future. This is for the future people who will be listening to this in the trenches of the Civil War and needing some quality entertainment about what they're actually fighting for. And of course they're fighting for the freedom of mentally handicapped people to fuck their senile mothers, and for the freedom of glowy offspring to groom retarded people into fucking their mothers. And that's what America's really about, our broken, fucked up nation people. So on Friday, I did my stream, and I said that on my stream, allegations had come out in the form of an audio tape and some chat logs that indicated that Christian Weston Chandler had fucked his mother. And if you don't know, Chris is like 39, Barbara is 79. So very big age difference, and on camera she always appears very out of it. There had been some discussion that maybe she was faking it, mostly from Marvin. and Chris. They both claim that she was more lively off camera for some reason. But now it's pretty hard to try and say that she doesn't have some kind of issue because Chris has been arrested since then. So, but he hadn't been arrested yet on Friday. But I hear this news and I'm erring on the side of caution. Because shit like this has been said before. People have been saying that Chris fucks his mom since 2008. And I'm almost wondering if that has embedded in his brain because he's heard it so much. But even during the Idea Guy stuff, like in 2018, Idea Guy extorted him into making confessional statements that he had raped his mother. And that was not true at the time, I'm sure of it. So even like a couple years ago, like in recent history, there had been these kinds of troll attempts to get Chris to say that he had been having sex with his mother. So I err on the side of caution. I say I'm going to wait until Chris gets online and explains what happens. And to my surprise, he gets online and he just says, oh, actually, let me just quote him directly because I have his signal up still. And if I need to reference it, I'll throw it through it. We haven't talked much since Friday, and I stopped talking to him altogether on Saturday. So it's not that big of a deal. But, on now. The worst thing about Linux, by the way, is that the scroll wheel is so dull. You scroll up and down, it's just like, it doesn't move at all. It's fucking crazy. Okay. So, I ask him, I give him the audio and the screenshots of the messages, and I say, I need you to tell me if this is real or not. And he says, hey, Josh, well, this is indeed a major shocker of a leak. But firstly, let me state directly with you that I have told this only to one person outside the temple. And I thought the temple was like a name of like some gay trolling clique or whatever. But the temple is what he calls his house. So outside of him, his mom, and his dogs, I guess. And he says, and second, Josh Moon, yes, it is true. The sex was consensual with Barbara. So I'm like, okay, so this is all real then. That's fucking wow. Like even now, like you say, Christian Weston Chandler had sex with his mother, and it doesn't sound like a real statement. It kind of like sounds like bullshit. So it's hard to process. So he does. He says that, like I said, that it was consensual. That and this, like even then, it's like okay, so he had sex with Barb, but Barb in like the early Chris videos always had like a weird relationship with Chris, and we know for a fact that Chris didn't get along with her for years because she was very like possessive and needy and would force him to like cuddle with her in bed. And if he didn't do that, like she would yell at him for not cuddling with her. So they always had like a weird relationship. So even at this point, I'm thinking like, okay, he fucks his mom. Let's take this one step at a time and figure out what the fuck to do. Because at this time, I still have the GoFundMe and everything to take care of, and I don't know what to do with that on Friday. And he says that it's Bella. So my immediate concern just then is like, okay, so now Chris is might be arrested. People are going to try to get him arrested because they're going to immediately assume that based on how Barb acts on camera that she has dementia, and they're going to assume that that he took advantage of her, and they're going to try to get him in jail. So that's what we're looking at. And I tell him basically what his rights are as an American citizen. I tell him what the process is, that he might get arrested, that social services might come by and take her. Told him like what his rights are, that he can request an attorney, he can remain silent, that kind of stuff. In retrospect, I'm sure at this point I'm just wasting my fucking time because I have a big revelation later on that I'll get to, but that's my initial reaction. And then to my surprise, actually, I didn't know what to expect, really. But a couple hours later, after he confirms that the police had been by, he says that he gets a emergency protective order from the Greene County Sheriff's Department. And what has happened is that he has been removed from the house. He's no longer allowed within 300 feet of the property, and he's not within 300 feet of Barbara. And Barbara has been taken to the hospital to be inspected for any kind of like abuse. So he's in his car and he doesn't know what to do, and he quickly arranges with people that he's going to go ahead and arrange living situations with someone, his aunt, like an aunt and uncle, I'm pretty sure, and I think they live in Richmond. So I think that's sorted out. He's going to stay there until August 5th, which is when the EPO ends, and he's going to go to Richmond. So he hightails it to Richmond. I tell people that it's true. And at this point, I'm concerned, like, okay, I don't want to be called in. I don't want to be subpoenaed as a witness against Chris. So I'm going to try and say as little as possible. But later that night, he gets there, and there's a police officer in Richmond at the property of his aunt and uncle, who is there to tell him that he's not welcome on the property. So at some point, either he misunderstood them when they said that he could come over, or they had heard about what he was arrested for, or something to that effect, and they rescinded their invitation that she could I'm mixing up people in my head right now because the fucking sun is in my eye. Give me a second. There we go. Okay. Yeah, sorry. The sun was in my eye, and I was starting to die. I was starting to decay me like a fucking vampire. Anyways, he gets there, and the police are like, you can't come on the property. So now Chris is in Richmond, and he doesn't know what to do. And he texts me, and he says that they told me that I can't come over. And I'm like, okay, well, you have to get a hotel, right? And he says, well, I don't have any money. So it's like, okay. And sure enough, Chris has negative $200 in his bank account because I happen to know what his last purchases were. I don't think many people know this because I don't think I've told many people. Chris has been buying sex toys like a lot this year because he gave me access to his email and he just doesn't give a fuck. So he's like on adamandeve.com buying sex toys and shit. And then he bought like a custom print of like Sonichu playing cards. And then he bought like latex, like costume apparel. By the way, I got a receipt today saying that they had shipped his latex costume for the BronyCon. So he spent like hundreds of dollars he didn't even have on apparel and collectibles and handmade shit and like sex toys and like ladies' lingerie and all this shit. So now he doesn't have money for a hotel. And I'm like, okay. This is now a certified Class A emergency. I will disperse you all your fucking GoFundMe money to tide you over for this event. Because you're definitely not going to BronyCon anymore. So I use Zelle, and I am going to send him $1,000. But the problem is that it takes, depending on what day you send it on, depending on if the recipient is a person that you've sent money to before, it takes a while. So I tell him, Chris, you're going to have to sleep in the car tonight. You're going to have to sleep in the car. When he planned to go to the Brony convention, he intended to sleep in the car on the way there. And I said, Chris, you're going to have to sleep in the car tonight. So find a nice place, a quiet place, and in a park or something, in a parking lot, and sleep there under the stars. And consider your actions. Consider that you have taken these actions, and now you've fucked everything up beyond all comprehension, and you might be going to jail. Just spend one night under the stars to think about this. And he says, okay, I will do that. So that is Friday. Friday is now over, at least for me. I'm recounting this by my time, but actually it's not even over because I'm laying in bed, right? And I can't sleep because I'm currently at some stage of grief. I'm going through personal tribulation at this time. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking like, this is fucked up. And then I get more messages from Chris. And he's telling me that Bella, who is the person who's in the call where Chris is disclosing that he fucked his mother. And I've still not listened to the call. But as people are like, initially people were having some doubt about if Bella was, or if I was responsible for this. And I'm thinking like, I didn't listen to the call, but at any point does like Bella say, don't have sex with your mother? And apparently at no point in this call does Bella say, don't have sex with your mother. That's a bad thing to do. So I'll get into that later. I'm not going to go deep into the whole Bella shit right now. That needs to be processed further before I can commit to that. But in general, the call's out there, and the call is fucking weird, and I've not listened to it. I don't have the stomach for it. But Bella is not telling Chris not to have sex with his mother. But Bella tells Chris that, oh, Chris, it's a misunderstanding. I was hacked, and the trolls got my audio from my phone. And Chris says, I sorted it out with Bella, and she explained to me that the trolls hacked her phone and got the audio, and it's not her fault. And I'm laying there at 3 a.m. in my bed. I'm fucking exhausted. I'm just like, this guy has learned not a single fucking thing in 15 years. He hasn't learned a single thing ever. And I'm just like, okay. And I'm not even like, okay, I'll tell you what I said to him. Let's scroll up. Bella, also known as 10th Anonymous on Instagram, is part of Caden's group, and she recently joined Wildcat and other outcasts that have proven to be toxic or bad. I explained that Bella was a troll, and the first time he showed me Bella's profile on Instagram, I told him it was a troll. And I say that she's just fucking with you. And I say, what, hold up, okay, hold up. I'm trying to find the exact words. I apologize. Where the fuck? Oh, he's talking about the mall. He's talking about how he wants to go to the mall and shit at this point. I'm still waiting for... Oh, by the way, Bella has stepped forward and she has figured out who caused the leak. She also talked it out with Wildcat. And by the way, Wildcat made a video with some random fucking audio conversation he had with Chris. And at the end, he just says, Noel convinced Chris to have sex with his mother. I know because I'm a troll. And then now he's asking me to make sure that we don't allow a threat on him because he didn't have anything to do with Bella. He's begging me not to get doxxed on the fucking forum while he's actively trying to like promote fucking splinter sites and say that I caused Chris to fuck his mother. I will absolutely allow that guy to get whatever shit's coming his fucking way. And so he comes back and he says that Bella and Wildcat made up, and Wildcat, Psychic Espion on the forum is Wildcat, and Wildcat verified that Bella is telling the truth and shit. And I say, anyways, I'll see, or he says, anyways, I'll see you later. Bella wasn't the cause of the leak. And I said, Bella caused the leak. How don't you get this? I don't understand. She's the only one who had it. It's her voice. How do you not understand? And Chris says, I get the possibility, but she has stepped forward with her side, and it's worth looking into. And I just say, bro, all these people are fucking with you. Your Twitter friends, Bella, the Discord people, these are all people trying to fuck with you for internet fame. You're talking to someone who is trying to get you put into prison for years. They will haul you away in handcuffs. I don't understand how you can fall for the same tricks again you first saw 10 years ago. And he says, I'm not falling for trickery. I said, you confessed to a crime to a person who has now gotten you kicked out of your home, and you may have criminal charges coming, but you're still talking to them like they're not obviously fucking with you. How do you rationalize this? His response is this: I am spiritually guided, and I am of sound mind. And I say to him, you have to cut this shit out now. You had sex with your mom and are now sleeping in a van because you cannot afford a hotel room. The government is looking to take your mom and put her in a senior care home where you will not be allowed to see her. They may charge you with crimes like rape, which could result in you being put in prison or a mental ward. If they put you in a hospital, they will force you to take medication that will make you a zombie. You are not a god, you are not spiritually guided, and these people are not your friends. You're ignoring my good advice because you prefer the trolls who enjoy treating you like a god, and those people want you in jail. Your spiritual guidance got you to have sex with your mom and be kicked out of your home. My advice got you $5,000. If this isn't a wake-up call, nothing ever will be able to wake you up. And he says, I am waking you up. I hear you loud and clear. And I say, I'm not the person you have to convince. Just telling me you understand does not work when you immediately start doing things that hurt you, like trusting Bella or talking to Dylan on Twitter. I really don't think you will ever get it. It's probably too late now anyways. And my Dylan is someone on Twitter who he immediately, like I told him, don't talk to anyone. Don't talk to anyone. How fucking hard is this? Don't talk to anyone. They're going to put you in fucking jail. Do you not understand this? And he goes on Twitter because some verified blue checkmark My Little Pony animator on fucking YouTube says like, hey Chris, did you have sex with your mom? And he's thinking like, oh boy, a person I recognize from YouTube. Why, yes, sir, I did have sex with my mom. And it's like, are you fucking retarded? And it's like, yes, the answer is yes. I have to come to terms with the fact that Chris was fucking retarded. He's always been fucking retarded. And now, on top of everything, on top of learning that he can't learn, I have to realize that he's malicious. He knows that doing these things are wrong, and he doesn't care. Because if he gets away with it, that's all that matters. And I realize that, and I'll take a detour now to show you this. Chris told me earlier this month that he had a girlfriend. I'm thinking, okay, that's fucking weird. And he says, like, nope, it's totally real girlfriend, and, you know, I met her in person, and we've had sex, and all this other stuff. I'm thinking, like, okay, you know, whatever, good for you, I'm glad, I'm happy for you, bro. So he says, okay, now I have a major update to share with you, strictly confidential. The past week, up to the Sunday the 27th, has been a major game changer for the positive with me. I tell you this in strictest confidence, and I trust. I do not want a word of this on the Kiwi or going public, but I had sex with someone last week, someone of this half of our universe. I worked thoroughly and compassionately with her beforehand and at present. She's physically older than I. If heard, one may say that she's something out of an anime or fan fiction. But yeah, keeping her safe as well. Also, next appointment with my doctor is on the 20th, so I'll get checked in. To be safe, condoms are being used in the intercourse. This relationship was something I have extensively given much deep thought and within myself. I had foreseen this among the infinite possible outcomes long ago. I no longer believe in the... This is the part in retrospect, which is like... I no longer believe in labels that would hinder, and I do not listen to those shadows. This was one of my own choice and of acceptance, and I have no regrets. This feels right and good with her and I. And I asked, really, how'd you meet? And he says, well, I've met her a while ago, and was not fully aware at the time, and my allied deities guided me to seek her out and make things go further with great effort. We talked off and on during the time in person, behind a considerable camouflage. She was honest in her emotions, and she wanted to be with me as well. Mutual feelings on good report. This relationship has been from the start offline and in person, I assure you. And I say, oh, do you have any pictures of this girl? Or of you and this girl, by the way? And he says, whoa, pressing hard for details. I do have photos of my lady friends, but it would be too personal at this time. I did mention she was older than I. She's in the over 50s. So at this point, I'm thinking like, okay, so we met like a 50-year-old, like autistic woman in like some sort of weird situation, and they hit it off because they're both like, you know, over the hill and like reprobates and whatever the fuck. And they're like, okay, whatever, fine, good. Happy for you, bro. She definitely does not want to spread around. Understandable. As one of my more curious followers may have gone through my Amazon by now, I have even recently purchased an informative book to add additional guidance. And this thing is something that definitely means something different when you read it the first time and when you read it fucking now. This book, The Ultimate Guide to Sex and Disability for all of those who live with disabilities, chronic pain, and illness. I read this, I'm thinking like, oh, so Chris read a guide for like how to have sex as like a retarded person. Great, wonderful, you know, knowledge is power, Chris. But now in retrospect, it's how to have sex with someone who is disabled. So I was like, oh, okay. Thank you to Miriam Kaufman, Corey Silverberg, and Fran Odette, by the way, for this wonderful how-to guide on how to have sex with retarded people. So I say in reply, I'm not trying to press, just curious. It's good you're both into things like anime. And I assume that they're into anime because he says that she's like a person from an anime. So I'm thinking like, oh, so she's like a Spurg, like May, who acts like an anime character. And he says, no, actually, she doesn't watch much anime or animated series or even television these days, for that matter. Adam West was one of her good favorite people back in the 60s, however, as it was for her son back then. So this is the one that really threw me for a loop even then. I'm thinking like, okay, number one, Adam West is like 60s, right? Isn't he like the 1960s guy? So my grandma likes Adam West, so that's weird. And then he says that she has a kid. It's like, how does a retarded woman have like a son back in the 60s? So I just let it glance off, let it wash over, like whatever. I don't give a fuck. I hope that's cool. I hope it works out, right? And he says that, well, it is, smiley face. I have found great appreciation for her in reading her deeply and in listening to her stories and life adventures. Her high school days were quite fun for her and intellectual. She is worked a lot in numbers and accounting. That's also weird. Like a very dysfunctional autistic woman would not have jobs, would not have kids. But so I'm kind of like, but I just assume it's like a troll thing. I really don't think that he's like met up and had sex with anyone, or is just with a prostitute. Maybe she was an accountant before she got addicted to heroin and is now a crack whore in her 50s. Like, maybe that's it. That would work. Whatever. I don't care. Also, you may know what I told you of my lady friend so far, and in the future, I kindly want you to. This is the part that made me, in retrospect, kind of hate Chris, because he says, I kind want you to figure it out for yourself. Thanks, Chris. I figured it out. What a mystery. What a twist. It's like fucking Fight Club at the end. I'm sitting back thinking like, oh yeah, you could replace Tyler Durden with an 80-year-old woman. It would still make sense. what wonderful writing for this season. As also the few others I've confided strictly with this detail. Don Lachaume and Wildcat are the two others who have additional clues as well, and I mentioned this to my doctor as well, without mentioning her by name directly at all in any event. I will see my doctor on the 20th, so I will get tested to confirm lack of STDs then. She and I have our romps in the sack every 3 nights at present. This makes me sound like a prostitute, too. It does give her something to look forward to. She is very grateful, and I am also appreciative in being able to enlighten her with sex play she missed out from even her exes. And I say, you should definitely not tell anyone who she is. It can only complicate the relationship if people start harassing her. He says, obviously, it's a good sign you kept it secret so far, but don't take a risk. He says, yes, shush. We are safe as long as even the obscure details get leaked to the public view or on Kiwi. And I say, good idea. I'd advise you not telling people you trust that you have a girlfriend at this point. And he says, I'm not telling anyone else after you, I do promise. And then I looked it up just out of curiosity, and sure enough, Barbara graduated college with a major in accounting. So there is no point, no doubt whatsoever that he is definitely talking about his fucking mother at this point in time. Woof indeed. Anyways, it continues, ladies and gentlemen. It continues. Okay, so where was I? I was talking to Chris. I was telling him that he really fucked up, and I tell him that he should take a day, sleep in the car, and I will figure out something tomorrow. So even at this point, I'm still like, I think that he needs to go into a home at this point, but I'm thinking like, I'll help him get there until I don't want him on the fucking street until he gets picked up. So the next morning, and I didn't think about the girlfriend stuff until after, so I'm not like angry at him at this point. I checked the email, and again, I have access to his email, and I noticed that he has a recent email from before that conversation where I tell him that he should sleep. Well, actually, after the conversation where I tell him I should sleep in the car, he should sleep in the car. But before he tells me about Bella, I noticed that there was an email sent while I was in bed that Barbara Chandler had sent him $750. And I asked Chris, and let me fast forward to that. I said, did you ask your mom to send you money? That is probably a violation of the EPO. He says, I did not ask her to send me money. I have refrained from contacting her at all and continue to do so. So I follow up. I ask, so she sent you money on her own? And he says, she did not send me any money. I managed to find blessings in the minimum abundance I needed. Meanwhile, I presently have a little over 5 hours to kill, and both the favorite malls around here, CTC and Regency Square, don't open until 11. So I sent him a picture of the receipt saying Barbara Chandler sent you $750. And I said, do you have control over her bank accounts? And he says, yes, I have online control, and this was an emergency. I planned on sending the $750 back to her account after the $1,000 gets into my account. So he couldn't spend even one day in his car after he has been evicted from his fucking home. He violates his EPO not even within 24 hours, like within 6 hours of receiving it, he violates it. After I explained to him what to do, just word for word, here's what you do. You don't fucking steal her money. So, I look at the EPO, and it very specifically says that not only are you not to have any kind of social contact with her, you are to refrain from doing any kind of property theft, which I assume includes wiring money from her fucking bank account without her permission, and you can't ask for her fucking permission because you can't fucking talk to her. So I just block him at that point, and I send the email to the police, and I say, look, you violated his EPO, fuck this. Because he lied to me. He lied to me then, in that conversation. He said that he found it, let me requote that again. Meanwhile, I managed to find blessings in the minimum abundance I needed. You managed to find $750 in your mom's fucking bank account, and you wired it to yourself. That's not a blessing. That's not a work of God. You fucking stole from her. And he knows this, because I know he knows when it's wrong to do stuff, because he doesn't tell me when he fucks his mom. He hides that because he knows it's wrong and would cause problems. He doesn't tell me he stole from her because he knows it's wrong and would cause problems, but he thinks he can get away with it if he can just lie right enough. So it's not like a retard problem. Like, him thinking he can actually get away with it is the retard problem. Him lying is something that he does consciously. So, that's the end of my contact with him. And I send to the police. I block him on Signal, and I cancel the wire of $1,000 to Chris. So now he's really fucked because he can't pay it back. So there's no way that he can like replace the money in time or whatever the fuck. And then, by the way, I checked the balance over time, and by the time he's arrested, he spent all of it. All that money is gone. He's got like $1.38 in his account by the time he's arrested, because they send low balance notices as well. So he spent a couple $100 on the hotel reservation. He had $200 in the red already, and then he had like $150 left over, and he spent that within like a day. So he went to the fucking mall and he bought whatever the fuck he was going to buy, and he was out of shit within the very first day of having the money. Just gone. Money that he stole from his mother while evicted from his house for fucking her. You know? It's like, how do you do this? How do you manage to fuck up this bad? So I'm still in contact, by the way, with GoFundMe. I've already received all the money from the GoFundMe, and I am talking to like their withdrawal people to try and figure out how to give them their money back so that they can automate refunding everyone who donated to the GoFundMe. He got a notice that he was not allowed at BronyCon anymore because he fucked his mother. They kicked him out of the BronyCon. So actually, you know what? That'll be funny. Let me read that. I have his email over here. From someone named Simul, who has a pony face as like his avatar. Your EF Northwest 2021 registration has been revoked. Dear Christine, Everfree Northwest prides itself on providing a fun, vibrant, and above all, safe environment for our attendees. We strive to ensure that every attendee feels comfortable and at ease during their time at our convention. To help ensure a positive and safe environment, we require all attendees to abide by our convention policies, which may be found here. Additionally, the organizers of the event may, at their discretion, take action to enforce these policies to ensure the comfort and safety of all attendees up to and including the revocation of convention badges and removal from the event space. Due to the recent events which have come to light, my fellow convention organizers and I have determined that your presence at the convention would contribute to a sense of unease, discomfort, and insecurity for a sizable portion of our community. Being that these events effects are detrimental to the environment we wish to foster at our event, we have chosen to revoke your registration for Everfree Northwest, effective immediately. This means that you will be removed from our registration list and will not receive a badge. You will not be welcome in any convention space. And they refunded him. That's nice of them. From Simula. He has a weird name. I guess his name is on the thing. It's like Dignaul. Can't be a real name. Simul Dignault. How do you pronounce in French? How do you pronounce this sound, chat? Translate this into English for me. How do you pronounce this whatever the fuck, this train wreck of vowels? Yeah. Alt. Yeah. Yeah. Simul Dignault. I don't want to just post his name in the fucking the chat. Anyways, he's a brony, and he says, get the fuck out. So Chris sends me that before I blocked him. And I thought, okay, well, now I have no reason not to refund the GoFundMe, because Chris fucked his mom, and he's not going to Everfree Northwest, so there is no purpose to this fundraiser at this point. John Furman says, oh, like he knows who I'm talking about right now. And maybe he's trying to give me a help. He's trying to tell me that it's pronounced O. Deo. Whatever. Anyways, that's enough of me trying to read. So now we're out of Saturday and we're on to Sunday. The merge is on. Big, flashing, glowing letters to the top of every page, because the merge is in fact on. The two Guntospheres of the Christian Gunt and the Gunt are going to collide. And this is like... This is surreal. Like when I first started showing up on like Ralph's like streams, I never imagined that at some point in the future he would be like showing up at Christian's hotel and like shouting my name over news footage. You know what I mean? I never like that's something that doesn't like you don't predict. It's like a movie. But anyways, that's getting ahead of myself, right? Before that, in his own little world, Ralph was having quite the day. He had just proposed to his asexual crypto Jew horsewoman lolicon girlfriend May, and this is the announcement. She said yes at Sad and Trad. So. That's sort of weird, and of course I feature this, and I'm snarky about it. I said, Ethan Ralph proposes to Digibro's ex-fiance, the most tragic thing to happen all month. And this is like the breakfast machine. The breakfast machine's kicking in, and marbles are flying around the fucking place, and waffle machines are going off because strings with balloons on them start floating up and shit. And it's like things are going fucking crazy at this point in time. I don't quite understand exactly what the fuck's happening in the breakfast machine, but I know that the marbles are now rolling at this point in time. So Patsu confirms it. She says, I'm so fucking happy. Dreams do come true. Every little girl sitting there with her, Lego kit with the dolls, the Barbie dolls and the Ken dolls and the little baby dolls and the horse dolls and all that shit. They all think, wow, I wish I can grow up to marry a fat, gunted, alcoholic, redneck, convicted felon with a child to another woman who's like in a civil litigation with him, who didn't list him on the birth certificate of his child's paperwork because she would literally rather forego the child support than have to deal with this motherfucker for the next 18 fucking years of her life. Just like, that's what every little girl thinks. Maybe only the autistics. But it continues. The breakfast machine's going on. And I have a thought about this ring, which I'll get into in a bit. But I put out a little message. I just say, well, I guess Ralph doesn't have any money. As the local silver merchant, I have reason to believe that's a zinc ring with glass gems. And I actually had to look up after I made this post to make sure that zinc wasn't like a poisonous metal that you can't actually touch, because I didn't know. And I just thought, like, Ralph's probably not even going to respond to this because, like, what an obvious fucking bait post. And he confirms it. Instead of just like ignoring an obvious bait post, he tells people exactly what the fuck it is. He says that it's a vintage ring, and then later confirms that he got it on Etsy or some shit. And then the breakfast machine is fucking going off at this point. The fucking hash browns are sizzling in the pan. And he says, in reply to me saying that it's a zinc ring with glass gems, by the way, I have someone literally out searching the streets for Christian. If we find him, we're going to drag him to the Killstream World headquarters and put him on the air so he can tell us what he knows about Josh Moon. So me making fun of his ring has put it in his head that he needs some goddamn motherfucking revenge. He needs to get Christian, who is currently evicted from his house and living in a motel because he fucked his mother. He needs to find Chris and bring him to his shack in Guntsville, Virginia, so that Chris can spill the deets about what I did to him. And this is the full ring, by the way. This is as high resolution image as we get of it. And based off the information which I have received from very either very homosexual or very female people on the forum, this ring is a piece of shit. And I'm not like a jeweler, I'm not like an expert, but from what I understand, I mean, it does. I mean, it looks bad. I don't know. I'm not like an expert. And to be fair, if I were to get a ring for someone, I'd probably get like a Skyrim looking ring, like that has like magical powers built into it. So this definitely doesn't look like it came from Skyrim, but it also kind of looks like a grandma ring, right? So he has a ring. It has a weird box to it, and that's the thing that tips you off that it's not like a new ring for like a woman you care about. It's it uses a setting which is just strange. It's like a man's ring almost to have a set like that, where it's like if you have no fucking idea what I'm talking about, the ring, there's like a big sapphire, and then around it is like a box of silver, and that's strange because usually it's like little prongs. You want to show off the gem as much as possible, and you want to show off the gem because sapphire is, as someone explained, I think it was Autistic Right, it's a dichoric gem, which means that depending on how light hits it, it reflects light differently. So you want to show the gem as much as possible because from every angle that light hits, it's going to reflect in a different angle, and it's going to make a pretty little glint to it. And that's the whole fucking point, right? The weird, around the edges on the top of the ring is like this weird texture that kind of looks like wrinkled skin or aluminum foil. And the reason why they do that apparently is that if you want to save on diamond dust and you want to make your ring glitter more, it's cheaper to wrinkle the silver like that, like aluminum foil, than it is to actually just add more diamond dust. So it's everything about it just, and the diamond or the sapphire itself, the center stone, is cloudy. That's not a high grade sapphire. You should be able to see through it. You should be able to see light reflect from it. But it's a very dark sapphire, which means it's cheaper. So we make fun of him, of course, and that is, the music's fucking playing in the background, Gun's losing his fucking mind, and because May is a crypto Jew lolicon, she definitely knows that this is a cheap fucking ring. She doesn't need to be educated. She doesn't need to know what the fuck I'm talking about. She can smell it. She can put it right next to that big fucking nose and go and be like, yeah, this is a cheap piece of shit. This smells like about tree fitting. And people estimate that the real value of that is probably about $250. So immediately there's some fucking issues, and it's all my fucking fault once again. And so, actually, you know what? Before I get into, take it back. Not and so. I want to go off on one more tangent related to May, because I like making fun of her. These logs were posted between Faith and May a while ago, and I'll read them now. Only after I say, yeah, no way would a 3-way work because I mentally can't handle it. May says, you won't even try because I really wanted it to. Faith says, the weekend made it clear I can't handle it. I have bad trust issues and paranoia. And May says, we can work through that, though. It doesn't have to be something we do immediately. Faith says, I'm not built for it mentally, plus it's clear me and Ralph's relationship isn't strong enough for that. And May says, I think it could make your relationship stronger. Of course, this is about having a 3-way with Ralph, May, and Faith, the pregnant mother of his child, who is still pregnant at this time. Faith says, I don't personally... not when I have to deal with the assault, the baby, the pre-existing issues. It's something I don't really plan on changing my stance, especially the baby and my PTSD. Plus, the idea of Ralph fucking another girl destroys me in every possible way I can think of. It doesn't have to be anything complimented. I don't think of it that way. I really care about both of you. So she is like flat out saying, I don't want to have like this relationship with you. I don't want to have this with you. And May is like really pressing it. And I think... yeah, so I think the whole thing, like, why even try and get like a threesome with this person at all is like May has like genuine like rivalry with like Aid Zero and Faith and Nora, because she says somewhere on her Twitter timeline, like, oh here, yeah, this part. I'll bring this up real quick. This right here. Ralph wins. Sure, just ask Nora, AIDS, and Child Bride, and then Pantsu says, women don't like to be reminded that they've been turned in for an upgrade. So she does have like this weird rivalry with these 3 random women, and that's why she doesn't really seem to care about what people think about her so much as she does pissing off these 3 women in particular. So that's really fun, right? And that's just an idea of what kind of person May is. So now, we are ready to move on to the main course, to the Sunday merge. So Ralph is plotting revenge, and he sets about to own me once and for all. And his great plan is to hunt down Chris, bring him to the drunk ranch, and hound him for details about what I made him do. And I am convinced at this point that he actually thinks that I like make a fuck ton of money from Chris, and that everything I have hinges on Chris. He really seems to believe, unironically, that I make all my cash from Chris, and I need Chris, and I have to keep trolling him. So I am the one who masterminded it. And he seems to genuinely believe that this is true. So he sets out. He goes to this hotel, and he's out there with his friend, and they're like conspiring. They don't know what to fucking do to get Chris out, and they start talking like actual fucking child predators, where they're like, Ralph is wearing like his Chris Chan shirt with like a hat, and what's his face? May is like wearing a Pikachu hat, and she's like, "Oh, I'll answer the door by myself because they trust women more. Autistic people trust women more. They're literally talking like they're going to abduct a child. We need to send May out because little kids trust women more than men, and it's just like the creepiest shit. So then May goes up to the second floor. And despite they don't know what apartment number is at, and at this point you can really hear like how afraid they are. Like Ralph and talking about this, it seems like he's genuinely shaken. Um, and he sounds like he wants to back out, but he commits to it. And people are telling him it's either 509 or 5 or 6, based on footage of Chris running down the second, the outside of the hotel. It's either 509 or 5 or 6. So he just says, "Oh, okay, we'll go up to 510, or sorry, not 209, or because the second floor, 209 or 206." And he says, "Let's try 210." And nobody ever suggested 210. So they're banging on this fucking door, and May is saying creepy shit like, "Quiz, it's me, a girl, and I want to talk to you. I'm a big Sonichu fan, woo. And I like anime, and I have gender issues too, woo. Want to talk to me?" And then the desk receptionist comes out and is like, "What the fuck are you people doing here? Leave." So they get escorted off the property by the fucking desk receptionist. And literally, by the way, May says that she has gender issues. So Ralph literally married a fucking tranny crypto Jew asexual lolicon. Congratulations, Ralph. You're fucking batting 1,000, buddy. So, Chris, I'm a lolcow too. Let me in. Oh, I have to ban you because you have cunny in your name. Get out of here. You made a funny comment, but that's cringe. That's like a pedophile word. Anyways, now that I'm done sweeping. Okay, so they walk down and they get into the car, and Ralph is just like, "Well, I guess we tried. Whatever. Let's go to the mall." And so they go to the mall, and they're pretending that they're like looking for Chris still, because like Chris said he might go to this fucking mall, but his car was in the parking lot for the motel. So there's like zero chance. And that Chris is at a fucking mall. He spent all his fucking money. His car is on the lot. We know where he's at. And people are just thinking, and he's literally just fucking wasting time. He gets like a cop pulled on him at some point. And because he's like, people are calling in saying that he has a knife or some shit. And then there's this one guy, he's like a fucking meth head who was running around trying to film Chris earlier in the morning. And he takes a picture of Ralph, and then Ralph starts following him around in his car, yelling at him, calling him like a kiwi fag and shit. And this guy is like a Redditor who live streams on Instagram, who smokes fucking meth because his teeth are all fucking mangled. And he's so ecstatic at this point that the best part of the entire stream happens. It's not even like the arrest. That's not the best part. The best part is this fucking moment right here, which I'll play for you right now.
Oh, I'll call you later, brother.
To clarify, that's him yelling at the fucking Redditor.
Oh my god. He was crying. Oh my god. Oh my god.
He was crying?
Yes.
Bitch.
Oh my god.
Die!
1, 2, 3.
Did you see me
Oh.
dogging that guy?
So it's just okay. So Ralph is like, "Oh, I finally got a win. I finally got a win," and he's doing like his Joker laugh. He's doing like, "Mwah, ha 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 ha! I win for once." And then May, not to be upstood, because she is a voice actor. Don't forget she applied to be a VTuber, so she's all about her voice and her professional anime Goku get 'em attitude. So she follows it up with her anime villain laugh.
Oh my god.
Ralph lives with this. He has stated under the watchful eye of Jesus and God that he wants to spend the rest of his fucking life with this horse lady who is clearly insane, who is clearly a threat to herself and others, based solely on how she chooses to portray herself in these streams. Just fucking wow. That was my favorite part of the whole night. It was her, like, they're so euphoric that they thought they got like an actual W on some random fucking spur who they think is like a kiwi fag, and that's the reaction. Like the dopamine hit is like a shot of fucking heroin. There's just so much energy that you have to unleash it all at once, and that's how they choose to do it. But defeated by the evil door receptionist, and riding high off the big W that they got on the meth head from Reddit, they choose to drive home, and then they get a call. The friend that they had been with in Virginia calls them, or at the hotel, who's, I don't know who the fuck he is, but he's wearing like a Black Lives Matter mask and shit. He's like real fucking weird. He calls Ralph and says, Ralph, there's like 4 cops at the hotel now. So he turns around and he's speeding. You can hear the engine revving and shit. He's going down the road as fast as he possibly fucking can. He gets there, he sets down, and I can't show you the footage right now because of the DMCA, but I can with some transformative elements to my stream, in addition to my commentary. Because this is apparently Ralph's greatest fucking accomplishment. He has been sending out DMCAs all fucking day and all fucking night for weeks. He's planning to take like Blair White to court and shit right now because he's such a fucking retard. He shows up, he pulls in, he jumps out, and you can see it. You can see it in the selfie stick. He's wobbling as fast as he fucking can. It's wobbling all over the fucking place. And he pulls up and he catches it just in time. They're literally, as he pulls up, they're hauling Chris out of the fucking hotel. Yeah, they're arresting Chris Chan here at the hotel. Chris Chan, what's up? Kill stream, baby. When you get out, let's do the kill stream. Look me up.
Once the charges drop, tell them about Joshua Connor Moon.
Tell them all about Josh Moon. That's who they want.
Give it up, Christian.
Give them up. Save yourself, girl. Magic Chain will help you. You're beautiful.
Look up Ethan Ralph, kill stream. I live here in Richmond, buddy.
Go to church.
No. Okay, so we'll rewind it a bit. So the first objective is to get Chris to like say bad things about me. Chris, by the way, I want you to know, heart to heart, if Chris were to sit down and talk about me, he would have not a single fucking negative thing to say about me. I have never done anything to Chris, ever. Like, I struggle to think of a single, like, I didn't even troll him in jest. My interactions with him, like, not like in, like, a helpful troll kind of way. Like, I know a lot of Wings people like to say that they're just trolling Jordy to lose weight. It's for its own good. And then when the Asperchew guy trolled Chris, the whole shtick was that he was trying to give Chris a competitive spirit to, like, make him work harder and understand that he has to, like, work every day if he wants his dreams to come true. Like, that's kind of like the trolling for, like, a good cause. Nothing of that sort ever either. I gave him, my first interaction with Chris was when I sent him a box of supplies in 2014 after his house burned down. I collected money from the forum, which was still really small at the time, and we sent him like $900 of shit in a big box. And then the next time I talked to him was after the Idea Guy stuff, and I completely uprooted those fucking people who were extorting him. And then the next time we talked was like years later when he wanted to go to the BronyCon. We had kind of like had conversations. There's literally nothing. So his mind, he really thinks that Chris is going to say something that implicates me in a crime. He really believes this. Ralph is that desperate. He can't even not believe it. He has to believe it. He has to believe that Chris has something on me, that somebody out there has some shit they want to say about me. Remember when he last week, I don't think I even talked about this, he was threatening to bring a family member on to spill the dirt about me, and that was obviously a bluff. But like, I'm thinking about my family. My family doesn't have anything to say about me. Like, they might have like embarrassing stories from when I was like a little kid or something, but they're serious people. They're not going to come on some fucking alcoholic show to talk about something stupid I did in grade school or some shit. Like, never, ever. Like, there's no one who has anything on me. it's all out there, and he's so desperate for that. He's so desperate for someone who knows the truth, the real deep side, the real horror stories that I've committed. He's so desperate for that person. I would not be surprised if he tries to make something up soon, just because he needs it. He needs it to sleep at night at this point. Anyways, at this point, I love this. May, still pretending to be trad, shouts at him, "Go to church," and then Ralph says, "No, come to the kill stream first, then go to church."
Look up, eat the Ralph, Killstream. I live here in Richmond, buddy.
Go to church.
No, come to the Killstream first. Yeah! What kind of shit is this? Holy shit! Oh my God! Thank you.
Christian Western Chandler right here.
Oh shit! Oh!
Run!
You better hurry, Jesse. You're
Run!
missing out.
Wobble, wobble, wobble. Wobble, wobble. Wobble, wobble, wobble. He's dying. He's like in physical pain. That's a genuine Odyssey bump right there. That's that little pause that you just heard. That's what we call a genuine Odyssey buffer.
Hey, officers.
He's out of breath. He's like dying.
Yeah, that's right. That's you. Oh my God.
That's the cop that he got in trouble with in
I told you.
the mall.
Is the car alive? Is the car alive?
You are.
I think so.
Absolutely are.
Yeah, you appear to be compliant.
Your goddess blue heart, and I continue to stand strong, and I maintain everything with quick will in my side shoes and those shoes and everybody.
Yeah, you're live to about 3,000 people right now, Christian.
How do you believe?
Well, don't.
I almost
You're
feel,
taking everything in stride. You said you're doing good.
I just wish that someone knew something more than Ralph, because like his response, like that, all like to Ralph, all that matters to Ralph is just like to keep him talking. So he's not like processing, like when you're in the moment like that and you're recording an event and someone's talking, like it doesn't matter what Chris is saying at this point, but it's not going to like fully set in what's being said. But you can, if you knew a little bit more, you could react to some of that and ask a question relevant to Chris. Like, but Ralph doesn't even know what the fuck's happening. He's just happy to have it on camera because there's like 8 different watermarks on it. I'm not covering them up intentionally, by the way, with the corn. That's just coincidental. If you want to see any more of this wonderful, fabulous content, if you want to see a fat, drunken lunatic running around Richmond, Virginia, shouting my name at the top of his lungs with his crypto Jew, asexual, transsexual, lolicon fiancé, you can go to killstream.live, assuming it's being DDoSed by angry Christian people still.
Doing good, feeling good? How's the last few days been? I know it's been pretty stressful.
It's stressful, but I'm taking it one moment at a time, and I got my loves.
Do you
Well,
feel
that's
like
good.
Josh Moon did you dirty?
Oh, well, that's just the one thing. That's a kid. Feel free, just go ahead and take it. Just a picture of muffins.
Nothing. He asked him, and Chris just has nothing to say.
I promise I was not thinking that. It fell off my bag. I did not want to lose it. And please, I would like that in my collection.
What's up, Jesse? How you doing? Boy, we almost missed it, huh?
I love the moaning of like the retarded person on the side. I don't know if that's like one of like Ralph's people or if there's like some other retard recording this who's just like making like retard noises off to the side, but it really sets the stage for like the audience.
Christine, this man does want to help you.
Yeah, we were trying to get you on the show.
This guy wants to help you. This guy would fucking, if those cops would let him walk over the fucking thing with an axe and hack Chris up live on air and let him walk, he would do that in a nanosecond. Because he would get to be put on the fucking quickie as the guy who like killed Chris or something.
Oh, but look, when you get out, look me up, Killstream. I don't know if you know who I am or not.
We're here to help you.
We saw what Josh was doing to you, so we wanted to come try to talk to you.
he doesn't react at all because he has no fucking idea what Ralph is talking about.
I have no weed, I have no drugs, nothing.
Nothing.
Like I said,
Nothing.
there you go. I felt good.
Ew, they checked Chris.
All right.
They checked Chris's titties for a knife or something. What the fuck?
We're on the very
The
last
merge.
thread.
It's happening right now, isn't it?
Right now, it is.
We're living it.
It's happening right now.
Farewell, Chris Chan.
The dimensional merge is happening right now. August 1st.
Well, there goes.
You gotta
Chris
check
Chan
the titty
into
crease
the
for a
Michael
knife?
County deputy's car here. I don't think they've had an arrest like this.
Yeah, I guess he does wear bras and shit. I guess they're checking the bra line for a knife.
We just got here too.
This is like the first time that no one's filming the police.
Yeah, that's someone in chat, Big Bad. Imagine not checking and being the cop that gets stabbed by Chris Chan. That's you're not gonna get a police funeral for that death. Should have checked the titties.
Which one of you wanted to ask questions?
The audio's fucking up. Is that it? There it goes. Oh, people were talking about this, and I did want to kind of bring this up and just kind of show you because it is kind of fucking weird. Assuming I'll ever be able to find this again. Right here.
No one's
Yeah.
filming the police.
Just got here too. This. I don't think they.
They put him in the
Well, there goes Chris.
in the driver's seat, the passenger seat on the driver's side. What? I've never seen that before. I guess I really have no idea for this. I have no idea why they put him on the passenger seat. I guess because they only have one cop. Maybe the cop gets in behind him or something. I really don't know. Super weird. Anyways, so that's the footage. Chris made or not Chris, the other one, the other retard, Ralph. Ralph made the news with that. Apparently, Daily Mail bought licensing for the footage and shit. He's been DMCAing all over the fucking place. He put out 2 different T-shirts trying to put out, make money off of this. And it's like, okay, good on him. I'm like, I got to see this. The thing is, the weird thing is that Ralph set out to do this to spite me because he really thought that Chris would just spill his guts and be like, oh, it was that gosh darn Josh Moon's fault. He put me up to this. He really thought that would happen, as if that's what happened, and instead, Ralph is there to record, really to give me like closure, because I there's several points where if this had gone differently, I wouldn't feel like it had broken as cleanly, but I got to catch Chris in a lie. I get to say, okay, that's my fucking line. Like, to top it all off, if Chris is still not going to like fucking listen to me, and he's going to steal money from his mom and do things he knows he should not. Okay, I can cut contact from there. But then it's like, I don't know. It just helps a lot to like say like, yeah, that's that guy, and he's being arrested. There he goes. He's in the cop car now, and I got to see that live, and I got to have that closure, 100% because of Ralph, who only drove there to film someone he knows nothing about, to spite me. And that's like a weird thing that can't be explained. That's like a cosmic irregularity. That's like entropy. You know what I mean? That's just too fucking weird. I did actually. I sent Ralph a silver. They're not shipping any. Since you brought up the silver, I guess now would be the appropriate time. I'm not selling anymore. I sold a lot after the Chris thing. Like a lot more than the initial, not more than the initial, but the initial day, like that one day, I sold a lot of them. So I'm gonna have to put in a new order for more. They're still on fucking lockdown, so it's just more added to the pile of shit that's still left to be done, because none of them have gotten done except for that one for the demo. So if you're like expecting it anytime soon, it's still weeks away. Sorry to say, but I did put Ralph in for one. clink some silver. I put my my coins away in a box, but I do have bars. I do have silver bars. They're these are the ones in shrink wrap, so they don't tink as nice. I do like the bars sound heavier though. I do like this. Yeah. Look at that. Get a nice weight to it. Anyways. Anyways. So now Chris is in jail. Ralph is now like embroiled himself in like a fight with all these Christian people who are like DDoSing his fucking site. Like, I love how he has a chance here to like introduce himself positively to a ton of people. Tens of thousands of people are going to watch this. He's already got like his fucking logo and shit all over the footage, like in all three corners and shit. And he shouts it once, and instead of handling this like it's a thing that a lot of people care about, and it's a thing that is a serious pivotal moment in that man's life. Chris's life is now changed forever, and Ralph was there to witness it. And instead of showing like any due respect, and instead of handling it with any kind of integrity, him and May are just like, kill stream baby, what up, kill stream. And he was boasting about like 3,000 numbers. Like, I put a link to his stream on the top of the entire site with like 10,000 people on the forum, so his numbers went way the fuck up because I told everyone on the fucking site where to watch it. And now his streams are back down to like their normal viewer counts, because nobody watching that was like, oh, this guy is interesting. This guy really shows, like he's really a stand-up person that I want to watch every day. Like, nobody thought that. He got exposed to tens of thousands of people, not just from the forum, but like on different Reddits and fucking national news. And they all thought in unison, God, what a faggot. Every single person that saw that footage thought, what a fucking faggot this guy is. And they all laughed at him. And then a lot of people who really did care about what was being shown on the camera like hate him now because he's just such a disrespectful wigger that he's repulsive to normal people. And he went out there to own me, like, what the fuck ever, bro. So Monday comes, right? And day after, sleep it off, weirdest fucking night in a long ass time, watching Christian be put into a fucking police car while a fat retard shouts my name at the top of his lungs. Very, very surreal experience. Wouldn't recommend it. Chris is in jail. And I think I already explained everything that happens on Monday, all the infighting with Ralph. So then Tuesday, or rather Monday night, like the early morning of Tuesday, I am sick. I am fucking violently ill. I am just like, I've never seen throw up that is completely like clear. It's just stomach bile. There's nothing else in it. So I'm fucking out of it. I'm just gone. I wake up on Wednesday, by the way, and I have hundreds of emails, 20 plus private messages, hundreds of notifications. I've never, like, that was a bad day to stop reading email. That was a bad fucking day to not be able to check your mobile devices because you're about to die. But I really felt like this could be it. Like, there was points where my, I guess it's my blood pressure crashed or whatever, where I'm like throwing up as hard as I possibly can. My stomach muscles ache and shit. And I'm just like, I can feel it. I can feel the cold sweats and I feel like consciousness fading. I'm like, is this how I die? Am I going to die of COVID poo-poo pee-pee? The day after Christian is arrested? Is this how it ends, really? Has my life completed its arc and now I'm being reclaimed to the biomass container? Like, for real, what the fuck? So that's my Tuesday. But something did happen on Tuesday, which I will play now. If I can find it. Ha.
Now go get it, or go on the Patreon to get it early. Okay, should we get right to, oh my god, Sean, you wouldn't think you would raise your hand if your trans friend didn't rape anyone who can't consent.
Didn't rape anyone?
Yeah.
Who can't
Raise
consent?
your hand if your trans woman friend did not rape anyone who can't consent.
Yeah.
I got my hand up. Anybody else? Anybody who maybe called into the show to break up with me because I let a trans woman call in and that they were such a predator they had to distance themselves from the show? No. Anybody else does anybody else have their hand up? Because I know you fucking don't. Me over here,
Oh boy.
Dick show trans lesbian rapist, 0. Other shows, I don't know. Other shows are gonna have to do their own accounting.
Oh boy.
So apparently I clipped that part, but apparently like 40 seconds after this clip, he says it's like a joke or something, but I'm not totally buying the whole, this is just like a fucking joke thing. This comes across to me as like a finger wag, like, see, Josh, we all know rapist. And it's like, no, it's really not normal. It's really not normal to know rapist. Like, maybe in LA it's unavoidable, but it's not normal to know rapist. The difference, in case you're wondering, in case this has to be said, is that Christian never went around parading the fact that he intended to rape anyone. Like, Digibro's entire identity is that he's like a freedom fighter for lolicon rights and shit. If Christian was running around saying like, oh, I want to fuck old people who can't consent, I'm what we call a geriatric con. Jerry con is like a big thing in Japan. Everyone there, it's such a pure, innocent kind of love to fuck dementia patients, and I'm a Jerry con, and they keep trying to make my Jerry con illegal in random fucking countries, and I need to fight for my Jerry con rights. If Chris was a Jerry con, I wouldn't be friends with him. I would think that's pretty fucking gross, Dick, to answer your question. Geriatricon, yeah, like if that was the situation, it would be completely different. The fact that someone I knew coincidentally is also like a creepy weirdo is it's also not even just that. It's not even just the fact that he was friends with this guy who is obviously like sick, who you obviously don't want to associate with. It's that his producer, the producer of the Dick Show, a guy named Riley, who was the person that Ethan Ralph got into a gunfight with some time ago, if you recall. Riley told me explicitly that I was not welcome on the show, or maybe not on the show, but in the Discord of like the community Discord where all the call-in guests were in. I was not welcome there anymore because I made, quote unquote, the bigger draw uncomfortable. And the bigger draw was Digibro, because Digibro was being called a pedophile on the Kiwi Farms. And I attested that he was probably a pedophile. So that was making him uncomfortable. He was the bigger draw, and the producer of the show was telling me that I was not welcome in the Discord anymore. I was free to leave anytime I wanted. I was that guy at a party who couldn't tell I wasn't around, wanted anymore, as he put it. That's the analogy he used. So I said, okay, whatever, fine, fuck it. And Riley is, as the producer, when I talked to Dick on the show, during the call he mentioned, I mentioned this, and I said, I think that you told Riley that I was no longer welcome, and he denied it. And I to this day, I don't believe him. I think that Riley would not have said something so assuredly unless he knew for a fact that was the situation, that Dick did not want me around. So part of the reason why I left was that Digibro was a fucking menace. I didn't want to be around him anymore, and I didn't understand why Dick was defending him like he was. And the second half was that I'm pretty sure Dick specifically told Riley that I was scaring away Digibro, who he valued more as a guest. So I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to be placed second fiddle to this fucking guy who is a creepy weirdo. Like, I'm completely for, like, trotting out freaks and shit, but if you're gonna try to, like, put me in the tard choir, like, no thank you. I will step away from this. So that's just, like, I don't know. Maybe he's joking, maybe I'm taking it too literally, but I think that just, like, saying retarded shit and then saying, like, oh no, it's just joking is kind of like a cop-out. Anyways. Okay, so that's Tuesday. And then Wednesday comes, and I play RimWorld. And then Thursday comes, and I play RimWorld. And then Friday comes, and I have to do this fucking podcast. So I only got 30 minutes of RimWorld in, but in that time, I managed to kill someone who was the son of a very important character in my colony. And now she's having a fucking mental breakdown and randomly killing prisoners and shit. So it's like, okay, well, that's great. That's wonderful. I managed to fuck up my little budding colony in the little time that I had. And just to kind of round things out, close it out, have a nice little catharsis. I have 2 clips that are about 8 and 3 minutes long. I've not watched them before, but I've been told they're funny, so we will now watch them together, and I will give you my genuine reaction to the whole situation type deal. Clip 1 is, here we go.
You're gonna put that up, and you're gonna let everybody else see it.
Well, everybody
When you're
loves it.
confronted by a trans woman, you're gonna hide it.
Everybody loves it.
No,
They
I don't
take
think
pictures of it. They post it.
so.
9 out of 10 customers love it.
Yeah, you know what? It's bullshit.
No, what you're spouting is bullshit.
No, it's not.
It
Trans
is.
women are women, sir. That sign is bullshit.
I'll tell you what. Just check it out. It ain't bullshit.
I'm telling you right now, as a trans woman are women. Your
Well,
sign
I'm
is
telling you,
bullshit.
as a man, that's bullshit. It is. It's total bullshit. You know what? Nobody confronts your ass. That's the problem.
Really?
If they
Base.
say,
Really? What?
Base.
You want to bet?
"What the fuck is
Do you know
going
what I
on?"
have had
Do you
to
know how
live
many
through?
people you've embarrassed at
Oh,
City
wow.
Hall?
Me, an
They have
embarrassment to City
they
Hall,
have to
really.
tolerate
You're an
that
embarrassment
shit.
to the city, sir.
Based.
You are an embarrassment to this city.
I am a
And
pillar
I
in
make
the
sure
city.
That everybody knows.
I'm a pillar in this.
Here,
Now,
I'll
you
pause
do
it.
that. You know,
This is the sign that he's complaining about. Just out, Dr. Seuss's new book, If You Are Born with a Dick, You Are Not a Chick, period. This new release is out now because the cancel culture banned its early books. I'm assuming that, his early books, that's an H. Because the cancel culture banned his early books. Wonderful. So that I guess that's Darth Sidious or whatever the fuck, and he's holding up the sign, and that really offends this fucking consumer soy boy fucking tranny, like every single other goddamn fucking tranny, and he is taking it up with the man. Look at those fucking legs; those legs are thicker than mine, and this guy is like 6 foot something, dwarfing this elderly man. And like threatening him in his fucking store because he was offended by words. You can't. These people are fucking dangerous, man. You gotta have a gun. You gotta be able to defend yourself. You gotta stay away from the fucking city. They are fucking like ex-military or like just like dangerous.
You know why? Every time some bullshit like this happens, my sales go up because people are wanting this. Side.
Really.
Really.
We're gonna show them this side of you, and
You do it. You do it. You do it really good. Because guess
hopefully
what?
we can wake you up.
You are fucking nuts.
Let's wake you up.
You are nuts. You're not a woman. You don't look like a woman. You don't act like a woman.
Really?
You're fucked in the head. What's wrong with you?
I'm fucked in the head.
I am confronting you
Yes, sir.
that you are an asshole.
And I'm confronting you that just because I walked into your store, you felt the need to take your sign down.
Well,
But it's
I was
degrading
thinking
everybody in my
I
community.
was thinking I was going to be nice,
What?
but no.
Be nice? Be nice? Putting that sign up is not being nice. Putting that sign up is fucked up.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it on my TV out front.
Good. Go for it.
But you know why?
Let everybody
Do you know
know
why?
before they walk in.
Why did they cancel Dr. Seuss? No reason at all.
Nobody canceled Dr. Seuss. There are tons of his books still out there.
But the ones,
But Dr.
why?
Seuss himself said those books were racist, and he was ashamed of them, and so they took them off.
Let me
his
tell you
estate
this.
Took them off
You
because they
are-
were wrong.
Dr. Seuss can go fuck himself, by the way. Dr. Seuss was like a staunchly anti-Germany, pro-war advocate all throughout the 30s and 40s. He's burning in hell with the rest of them. Like, he's sitting in FDR's wheelchair, which is now a contraption of like fiery spikes that drive through his fucking shins.
You are fucked in the head. You're an
Really?
embarrassment to the community.
I think
You're
you need
an
to look in the mirror, sir.
You are an
I
embarrassment.
think you need to look in the mirror when you say that because you're actually saying that about yourself.
Well, look at yourself, for Christ's sakes.
Really?
For Christ's sakes, who would want to even be close? My God.
Really?
It's horrible.
I don't know why
You
why
are not,
am I so
you
horrible
are
to
not
you?
a fucking chick.
Why am I so horrible to
Do you still have a dick?
You know what? That is none of your fucking business.
Do you still have a dick?
That is none of
'Cause if
your
you
business.
do, guess what? Check
Would
it
you-
out.
Would you go to anybody else and ask them about their privates, about their genitalia?
I would.
No.
I would if they are.
Really?
If they're fucking
Really?
nuts.
Really?
How do you?
So fucking
how do
rude,
you
dude.
fucking live with yourself?
How do I openly now.
Nobody.
Thankfully.
Do you think there's one person that really thinks that you're a chick?
I know a lot of people that agree with me and that accept me for who
Do you
I
know-
am. And the fact that you're going to
They laugh at you behind your back.
Nobody.
Bullshit.
Nobody confronts you. That's
Yes,
the
they
problem.
do.
They
do all
they
the
do not.
time.
Well, then what the fuck's wrong with you?
What the fuck is wrong with
why
you?
are you doing this?
Why? Because
What?
this is who I am, sir.
Oh, fuck
this
that
is who
shit.
I am.
Fuck that
You
shit.
can't deal with it.
I don't want to deal with it.
You don't want to deal with it.
You got that
doesn't
right.
mean that you can
This is going to be me at like 50 or how old is he? Looks like at least 70.
put a sign up like that and not get
You-
confronted over it.
you-
And when you are, and you get upset because I'm
You-
upset that you pull this shit,
You make me
that's bullshit.
uncomfortable because
Really?
you're
Get
fucking
the
nuts.
fuck away from me.
Then you get out of my store.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you. And just people are thinking you are fucking nuts.
You know what? That's great. Because I'm living me. I'm living my life the way I want to live it. Trans women are
Just
women.
don't live it around me.
Trans women are women.
Jesus Christ, man, get a clue.
Trans women
Get
are
up.
women.
Get a fucking.
Trans women are women.
Do you know nobody confronts your ass?
Trans
Because
women
you know
are
what?
women.
They're afraid they're gonna hurt your fucking
Trans
feelings.
women are women. I'm
What
gonna be out here
what
all the time.
You do.
You don't
You
even know
make
what's
my
going on.
sales. You are fucking nuts.
I am out of your store.
You're
Get the
nuts.
fuck away.
This is in Aberdeen, Washington, by the way.
No, this is in front of my store. You
It
get
doesn't
away
matter.
from me.
This is the city.
You get away
I
from
asked
me.
you to get away from me, sir.
I'm not
You
going
asked
to
me
get
to
away.
get out of your store. I
I'm
got out of your
confronting
store.
your ass because
That's
you're nuts.
fine. That's fine. You're confronting
Fucking
me.
leave.
I confronted you. I'm
Fucking
gone.
leave.
I'm out of your store.
Leave.
You leave.
You leave.
I'm here. I'm out of your store. What more do you want?
Let me
You have
ask.
no control
Let me
over
ask
me.
you a question again. Do you have a dick?
You don't.
He should, at this point, he should go back to his store, put the sign up, and if the tranny, and just ignore the tranny, and say if he doesn't leave, he's gonna call the police. And if the tranny wants to stand out there and it's fucking, look at those high heels in this skirt. So wants to stand out there in their high heels, and shout shit, then they're free to do that.
You don't get to ask that.
I'll bet you do.
You don't get
You-
to ask
what-
that.
what do you-
You are a fucking idiot.
What are
You
you
don't
both
get to ask
both
that.
sides of the mental?
But by the way, this is like typical like men squaring up. This is like a bar fight about to break happen, or about to break out, about to happen. Where like they're like sizing each other up and like straightening their posture and shit. And of course he's wearing fucking heels, so he looks way taller. And he's just like staring down this old man. This is like legit. No woman ever. God, I'll look this up while it plays.
I don't care. I hope so.
Good.
Because I want to be in your fucking face because nobody
Really?
confronts your fucking
Really?
stupid ass.
Really? I
Really.
get confronted all the time.
You should, for Christ's sake. You're nuts.
Pretty much every time. Not an idiot getting up in my face talking about shit they know nothing about. Not deciding not to accept somebody for who they are.
Oh,
you will
fuck
not accept
that
anybody.
horseshit. Fuck
you
that
are
horseshit.
a fucking bigot.
Oh no, I'm totally on her side.
Okay.
Like,
Thank you.
you're gonna lose my business completely.
All right. I hope so.
Oh no, this elderly woman isn't going to shop at a fucking Star Wars store. Holy shit. This is your typical Washington, okay? You gotta stay away from these fucking cities. They're dangerous. They're full of retards.
Yeah.
Okay, here. This is the picture I was thinking of. Let me go back. I'll wait for a good frame.
This is bullshit. Nobody confronts it.
There's nothing wrong with her. She's not doing anything. She's minding her own
Look,
business.
I have a sign in the store that says if you're born with a dick, you're not a chick. and he's got a dick. How could that possibly
Stop
be any different?
misgendering me.
Why is that a problem for you?
Because I don't like it. It irritates me. It makes me upset. It makes me embarrassed.
Why are you embarrassed? You should be embarrassed.
Shut up, white women.
What are you going to
I will
do?
call the cops.
Oh, you
I'm
call
trying
him.
to
Call
walk
him right now.
Yeah, Boomer should go back inside.
You're saying in my face.
Call him right now.
What's with this angle?
I'm going to confront your ass.
Fine.
It needs confronting because you're...
I am trying to.
Okay, here.
Why
This
don't-
the way that they're squared up. It reminds me of this meme. I'll pull this up now. This is really famous, but here's another picture where it's like a real woman standing next to like a tranny with like a similar kind of build to the one that is in this video. And the anonymous poster comments, and this is a really great post. His vaguely threatening gesture and stance, the woman meekly clasping her hands together in fear, the difference in size between his massive skull and hers, the caveman tear slouch making him look like a hunchback versus her standing up straight, the remnants of what appear to be sideburns on the left side of his face versus the woman's clear cheeks, the intense expression on his face versus the bewildered expression in hers, the sheer difference in size between their torsos. His is probably double the size of hers. The masculine profile of his chin jutting out on his longer face versus her wider face. I could go on, but you get the idea. All is contrasted with the constant assertion that these people are identical to women and there is no meaningful difference between them, makes for the most exquisite form of irony when their differences are juxtaposed so vividly. The contrast is divine. On the left is man's hubris, his desire to capture the beauty of nature and make it his own, his cerebral and conscious understanding of what it means to be what he thinks he is, his intentional becoming, while on the right is nature, effortless being, no doctor's appointments or hormones or surgery, just an is that needs nothing added to it in order to be complete. He tries so hard, yet the harder he tries to become, the further he takes himself away from the effortless is that is the thing he wants to be. It's comedy on a cosmic scale, a joke only God himself could come up with. One of the best posts ever made on the internet. I think... Oh, there's another minute left.
Don't you leave.
Because I'm trying to, and you're following
I'm
me.
not going to follow you past the store.
Okay?
Now remember.
If you follow me
Remember.
past your store, I'm calling the cops.
You go home tonight. If you've got a dick, you're not a chick.
You are fucked up in the head, and you need to go see somebody.
You think I'm fucked up? You're nuts.
You are completely
You're
insane.
embarrassing the
Hello!
whole, the
Hello!
whole fucking
You are
community.
past your store.
You are
Back up!
This is my space too.
You said you were going past
This
the
is-
store. You were put past your store.
Yeah, you said you're a chick and you're not. You are not a chick. All right,
You are following me.
Okay.
You are harassing me.
I'm not harassing
Yes,
you.
you are. At this point, you are.
What are
harassing
you
me.
doing to me?
What am I doing to you? I'm trying to leave, and you're
Then
following
leave.
me.
Then leave.
Then leave me the fuck alone.
Then leave.
Go.
No, you go.
I'm trying.
Because
You're not letting
I'm
me.
confronting your ass because nobody does.
I'm trying to go. You're
Okay.
not letting me.
Actually, I'll cut it off there. There's another clip I want to play, but before I do that, I found out somehow on complete and total fucking accident that the person in that copy pasta I read responded to the copy pasta, and I'm just gonna read it blind. This image of me has been going around on 4chan and other awful parts of the web with similar transphobic commentary. Over the past weeks, I've had turfs and trolls send it to me, and even some friendly folks who want me to be aware it exists. So I want to be clear. I realize this is an effort to shame my general appearance and invalidate my humanity, and I know that this may come as a shock to many of you, but I really love the way I look. I am genuinely confident in my own skin since coming out of the closet. I think I am quite gorgeous, and I know that the vast majority of folks probably don't find me particularly attractive. I guess that should offend me, but I am at peace with it. I think back to when I was in the closet and persisting as a conventionally attractive male and how consistently miserable I was. I would dress in nice suits with clean haircuts, look normal, and it made me feel constantly anxious and depressed. Sometimes I would avoid going to public events. I hated compliments on my male appearance. Truthfully, I hated the folks around me who found me as an attractive male because I didn't feel attractive. I felt depressed and angry, and I so badly wanted to be present to the world how I felt internally. Every day that I've been able to walk around my door presenting as femme has been a gift. Every day has been worth the hatred flooding me online. You may look at that picture and see someone who makes you cringe in disbelief. I look at that picture and see happiness and survival. happiness, and survival. Ugh. I have never been happier than I've been out of the closet and living my authentic self. It is truly the best thing in the world. I didn't know it was possible to be this happy, and in fact, a few months after coming out, it slowly dawned on me how unhappy and depressed I had been in the closet. I went all those years back. I went that time again. My only regret is not coming out sooner. Now, are there things I want to improve about my appearance? Sure, and that'll come with time, but if my choice was between what you see in the picture and being in the closet, I choose that beautiful woman every day without hesitation. I am proud of her. She survived. And here's my message specifically to those who invest quite a lot of energy into hating me and mocking it. I truly hope you feel this happy someday. I wish that for you, it's life-changing to feel comfortable in your own skin. I hope you find healing. Oof, that is AGP. That is just, this guy just wants to wear women's clothes, and when he's wearing women's clothes, that's all that matters, and nothing else matters. Nothing else matters except being able to wear women's clothes. Okay, now the second video.
For nearly 25 years, Don Suker has been known as the wacky owner of the Star Wars memorabilia store here in Aberdeen. But a transgender councilwoman says he's a bigot who went to the dark side on her.
You are not. You're not a woman. You don't look like a woman. You don't act like a woman.
The confrontation started inside.
Trans women are women.
Get a
Trans women are women.
And spilled into the street.
You are not a chick.
Aberdeen Councilwoman Tiesa Meskis confronted owner Don Suker about a sign he posted in his store saying, if you are born with a slang for a male body part, you are not a chick.
What he wrote there was so demeaning and so dismissive
Ew.
of who I am and who any trans woman is.
Meskis, a trans woman, says she knows Suker has the right to say what he wants.
You're nuts. You need to back off now. No, you do.
But she wanted to tell him to his face it was hurtful.
I would really like them to open their eyes and their heart and see that, you know, we are people, we are who we are, and all we want to be is accepted in our community.
Now, I don't care what they do, but don't come in here and complain to me about stuff. I have free speech.
Suker says anyone who disagrees with him does not need to spend money at his store, where that sign was still visible today.
And everybody's loved it. Everybody's taking pictures of it. Everybody laughs.
Not everybody loved it, as we saw.
Well, yeah.
And some people think it's hurtful.
Well,
he told us that this hurt.
But here's the thing. I don't give a about feelings anymore. I'm 70, I'm 8. I went to Vietnam to fight for all this. Do you think I care about some feelings? Absolutely not.
Supporters of the councilwoman are planning a protest out in front of the store Saturday morning at 10. Don Suker says he is calling on some of his backers for a show of support at the same time. In Aberdeen, Drew Mickelson, King 5 News.
Notice that it's a city council person is the fucking tranny, so it's like, no matter what space they're in, they're always going to try and like osmosis their way up to positions of power so that they can dictate how things ought to be. You can't let them have any power. Like, never ever tolerate these fucking people. You can't tolerate them because they will take advantage of your generosity every time. Every single possible fucking time they'll take advantage of it. Anyways, we're coming up on 2 hours. I think that this has been enough. Don't think I missed anything. For those curious, I weighed in at 120. Well, without my 121.2 kg to be 126 pounds, and I was like 148 last week, I want to say. So that's 275. That's quite a bit. That's a lot of weight to lose in 1 week, and that's entirely because I almost died. Anyways, I think that's it. Nothing fancy. Maybe I'll do a fucking RimWorld stream or video as an apology to like not doing anything special for the Gumroad people. But if I like disappear for like a month, forgive me. I am meditating on the nature of life itself because everything is all fucky wucky. All right, I think that's it. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.
It's done. Anyway, feel like they're gonna crash and burn into a whole bunch of into a long slumber. Anyway.
But hopefully with the power of God at our sides, we'll be together very soon.